Kara, are you ready? All right, here we go. I'd like to call this meeting of the Sutter Butte Flood Control Agency to order on December 10th, 2025. May we have roll call, please?
Bruce Johnson. Here. Todd Kimmelshoe.
Here.
Bo Shepherd.
Here.
Mark Boomgarden.
Here.
Dave Shaw.
Here.
Charlie Hoppin. Here. Gary Marlar.
Here.
Mike Morris.
Here.
Chris Schmidl.
Here. Would we, or could, Mr. Charlie Hoppin, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm making it. All right. Public comment. Members of the public will be allowed to address the Sutter Butte Flood Control Agency's Board of Directors on items of interest to the public that are within subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Any member of the audience who may wish to bring a matter before the board that has not been placed on the agenda may do so at this time. However, state law provides that no action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. Do we have any comment from the public? Okay, not seeing anything. Move on to consent calendar. Consent calendar groups together those items which are considered non-controversial or for which prior policy direction has been given to staff and that require only routine action by the board. The chair will advise the audience that the matters may be adopted in total by one motion. However, the board may, at its option or upon request of a member of the public, consider any matter separately. Do we have anything from the public on the consent calendar? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board.
Second.
Have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, consent calendar is approved unanimously. Information and possible approval items. It's time for to receive and file our monthly financial reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon. So this report covers financials through the end of October of 2025. Ending working capital through the end of the month was $15 million, about $15.5 million, with $17.5 million pending. Revenue for 24-25, we received $750,000 in assessment revenue, an additional $270,000 in interest earned. About zero received so far, at least through the end of October for 25-26. Capital revenue, end of 24-25 is about $9.8 million, $12.8 million pending. For the current fiscal year, about $328,000 and about $1.9 million pending. That difference between what was pending and the total amount that we have recorded and what we have actually received is about $4.6 million. It's further broken up here. Like I said, we've received all assessment, or we have logged in all assessment revenue through the end of October for 24-25 and haven't received anything yet for 25-26. The full $4.6 million is totally just grant, anticipated grant revenue. You can see off to the far right here. For expenditures, estimated expenditures, paid expenditures through 24-25, about $8.3 million, about $4.9 million through the end of October. A majority of that is due to the TUFER, the flood risk reduction project, phase 2, construction. Here you can see too, for pending payments, currently for the 25-26, about $4.9 million, which some additional pending expenditures for operating revenue, $305,000, $371,000 for OWA activities. Our next debt service payment, and this is reflective of our refinancing, would be $602,000 come April 1st. So current activities we're doing for the agency. So our audit is still underway. We are capitalizing asset data, synthesizing capitalized asset data for in the current month, and are in communication with the auditor for that. Assessment roll from Wildan was disseminated, and we have been receiving some assessment direct bills coming in, and then execution of the bond refunding. So just open up for questions now.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just add a little bit to that last item on the bond refunding, I just wanted to emphasize the successful bond refunding that we had. And I did send out the email to the entire board that the numbers were an improvement over what we presented to the board last month. So we overachieved on those predictions, or projections, I should say. So with the bond refunding, we're going to save the agency a little over $4.3 million over the next 15 years, net present value of $3.36 million, and then an annual reduction or savings of about $287,000 per year. So it was a really successful bond refunding. I just wanted to highlight that.
That's a great highlight, and kudos to, and great work in getting that financial stuff done. Thank you. Okay, item number 4, the presentation and file of program project updates. Mr. Bissett.
All right, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, this is our last board meeting of the year. It's been a very interesting and productive year. In February, I'll highlight, the successes from this year and a look ahead to next year. We'll do that in the meeting in February. So on this slide, this is for the Tudor flood risk reduction project. All the construction work has been completed for this year. Our contractor is winterizing the project site, and we're working with him to, the equipment's being removed and the site is completed. It's all been, the all-weather surface on top of the levee's been completed, and all the hydro seeding has been done. I have good news. We just heard from the Central Valley Board this morning that they successfully completed their negotiation with Odysseus Farms for that private encroachment. So the landowner will be signing the encroachment permit. So that allows our project to reinstall a brand new pipe next year in the spring when we come back in for year 2 of our construction season. So next year, we're just going to be installing the at-grade pipe, which is a 36-inch pipe, and then we'll install this 20-inch, which is an up-and-over pipe above the 200-year floodplain or flood water surface elevation within the prism of the levee, but it's above the 200-year. So that's that project. So next slide, please. Sutter Bypass East Levee. We're kind of in a wait for our partners mode. The Army Corps still has not delivered their design review comments on our 90% plans. We did have some recent communications, and we think we'll get those comments in January. So we continue to advance the 408 approval process through the Army Corps for that project. We're still waiting to hear from Cal OES in order to get the green light to submit our FEMA hazard mitigation grant. We're hoping to hear very soon. We would expect to be submitting a grant in the spring of next year. So there's a little time to hear from Cal OES to get that green light. And we're also still communicating and coordinating with DWR and Calpine on the Calpine project, the carbon capture project that they're trying to advance, which would allow them to help fund our levee improvement program, and still communicating with DWR. And we have a meeting this Friday with DWR to advance designs on the remainder of the bypass. So all of those activities are still underway. On the City of Orville levee repair, the Army Corps completed their levee safety report, and they're going to be making a presentation to the City Council of Orville on February 3rd. And Chris Fritz and I will attend that meeting. And we're continuing to coordinate with City of Orville to advance, some sort of levee improvement project, trying to get funding from DWR for levee investigation, levee design, and levee improvements. But also, as a result of the Army Corps' project or study, They had some recommendations on things that the city should undertake, such as completion of a levy O&M manual, operation and maintenance manual, and a flood safety plan. So we're looking to try to find funding through the state to advance those activities also. On the federal project, the Tudor to Cypress and the whole Sutter Basin project, the Corps is still reviewing our credit packages. They'll be completing the integral determination report. There was a little bit of a delay with the government shutdown, but what I'm hearing is they should complete that document very soon. And then they're also reviewing all of the lands, easements, right-of-way, relocations, everything that we completed as part of the Sutter Basin project. That's called the LERDS, L-E-R-R-D-S. And they're actually doing a site inspection tomorrow, and they're coordinating with Drew Stresser through LD1, LD9 for that inspection. Next slide, please. On OWA Robinson's Riffle, so we're advancing, this is for the river restoration project. We're advancing design and permitting. As I reported to the board several weeks ago, or almost a month now, we were successful in being awarded the grant from the Wildlife Conservation Board for $31.9 million for the construction of that project. So we're very excited about that, and we'll be looking to go out to bid on that job in the late summer, early fall of next year, with construction being planned for 2027. And I think the Appeal Democrat just had an article about that award today in today's paper. On the Thermalito Afterbay Boat Ramp and Campground project, we opened bids yesterday. We actually had 11 bids, so there was a lot of contractor interest in that project. Our apparent low bidder, I say apparent because we're still reviewing all the submittals that we got, the bids, but R&R Horn out of Chico is our apparent low bidder, and they came in right about engineer's estimate, so we were happy with their bid. I spoke with their vice president this morning, and they're excited to advance that project. So we'll be looking to come to the board for a contract award early next year and construction in next year, starting in the late spring, once all our permits are received. There's two Feather River side channel projects, or actually there's three, but on these two on this slide, the first one with the Sutter County Resource Conservation District, they're advancing their project alternatives analysis. They're setting up a meeting to present their preferred alternative early next month. And we'll have a presentation to this board in February on the last bullet on this slide for the side channel project, which is downstream from the Sutter County Resource Conservation District's project. Their design engineer from Flow West Consultants will be providing that presentation to this board next month. So we'll look forward to that. Next slide, please. All right, so here's our monthly Weather Watch discussion. So we haven't had a lot of rain. So, last month we were getting a lot of rain, and then now the spigot's gone dry a little bit. What's interesting, though, up north, just north of us, Oregon, Washington, they're getting atmospheric rivers are coming through, dumping between 8 and 15 inches of rain. So if we were to get that type of precipitation event, there'd be a much more conversation to be had about that. But we continue to watch the weather and coordinate with DWR, the Army Corps, our local maintaining agencies. So I don't have anything more to discuss this month on that topic, but obviously we're going to continue to watch and see what comes our way throughout this season. Next slide, please. All right, so upcoming meetings or events. So the Army Corps, I reported last month that the Army Corps was supposed to be performing these levee inspections. I believe it was in December, and then the federal government shutdown happened. That inspection got postponed. So now they're looking to perform that next month in January. Sometimes they're still looking to nail down the dates for that activity. But we'll be participating in that process when it occurs in January. And then I'll be able to report out in February on that. And like I said, our next board meeting, we're going to take January off. So we'll come back in February and start out the new year. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to turn it back to you and see if there's any questions.
Thanks.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, on the Thermalito boat ramp and all the work there, that's going to start actually in 2026, spring of 2026, you believe?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Just so people in Butte County know that we're doing this organization is doing work up there in Butte County. It'd be great if we had some kind of formal groundbreaking.
We will, yeah.
Okay, great.
We'll definitely plan that.
Okay, get the press there and
that,
just
right.
let people know that what we're doing and,
Yeah.
and what we're spending their money on.
We'll probably target that in March,
Okay.
thinking, March, April, right
Great.
around that time.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Mr. Hoppen.
Michael, I have a question. On these side channels, when I look at the organizations that are behind them, nothing against either of them, I don't see that they have the wherewithal and the expertise that this agency has. Will you have a veto power on their designs and stuff? I just have this vision of somebody coming in with this whirly bird idea to save the world and jeopardizing the integrity of the levee that we spend a lot of money maintaining.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Charlie. We will have, we're participating in those projects in terms of design reviews to ensure that whatever they're proposing does not impact the integrity of our levee system. That is an absolute part of that process.
Great. And one other thing, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, and I mentioned this to the folks today at lunch that met prior to this meeting, is that I got a call from a constituent kind of on the eastern side of the Gridley Biggs area, and she had some concerns about something else, which I won't bore you with. But at the end of our conversation, she did say, but I do want to thank you because my flood insurance premium has been cut in half. And I think that has a lot to do with what the work we have done, and of course the remapping by FEMA does the remapping. Is that correct? So, so anyway, you know, the work that we're doing has an impact, and so that just want to let everybody know that.
Anybody else? Well, I'd like to take an opportunity, Michael, and to your staff, a pretty darn good 2025. A lot of projects, a lot of things completed. The finance refinancing is a top-notch deal, and it just seems like there was a lot of good things that happened in 2025. And with that, I would just say, everyone have a good, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, safe, and if there isn't anything else, we will adjourn this meeting until our next meeting, February of 2026.